Okay, so if we look right through here, we're just passing under the diaphragm. Okay, one of the first things we can see is our adrenal glands, and in this situation here, we can actually see our suprarenal vein right through there coming off our renal vein. Now, if we look right through here at the abdominal aorta, we can see coming off the side is our testicular or ovarian artery, which we can also generically call just the gonadal artery. If we look at the inferior vena cava, we can see that there's also an extension for the gonadal vein, and that's traveling all the way down this way. But if we look on the left side, we can see that the gonadal vein comes off of the left renal vein. So there's a structural difference on this left side. If we look right through here deep in front of the actual lumbar vertebra, we can see a continuation of the sympathetic chain. So this is the lumbar chain, and we can see the ganglia right through there, so lumbar ganglia. Deep to that, or beside that, we can see our lumbar artery and our lumbar vein coming off the posterior aspect of our descending aorta from this vessel there. And then if we continue to look down, we can see that there's another artery going right on top of the actual sacrum. This is the median sacral artery, which is an extension from the posterior aspect of the abdominal aorta. At the termination point, we see this bifurcation, which comes to the common iliac artery on both sides. And one of these is going to go inside the pelvis, and we can see it right there. That is the internal iliac artery and vein. The next one is going to stay outside, and this is the external iliac artery and vein, and that will become the femoral.
Oh, really?
Good to go?
What is this then?
So first thing we see here is going to be our psoas minor, and it's sitting right on top of our psoas major. When we look beside here, we see the quadratus lumborum. And of course, right above the psoas major and quadratus lumborum, we come to the diaphragm. Of course, here you have your central tendon of the diaphragm. And if we look at it in context, you're going to have your caval hiatus here. The esophageal hiatus will be here. And then the aortic hiatus will be here. Right over the top of the psoas muscle, this line is called the medial arcuate line or ligament. And then right over here, as it goes across or atop the quadratus lumborum, you have the lateral arcuate ligament. If we continue looking down where we see that psoas muscle, we can see that it joins together with the iliacus. Okay? If you need me to move anything, just let me know.
Okay.
So iliacus is through here. Now, as we look inside the pelvic inlet, we can see on top of this nerve, which is the sciatic nerve, we come to the piriformis muscle. Okay, so right under the sciatic nerve is the piriformis muscle. Off to the side here, we can see the obturator internus muscle. And the obturator internus muscle is separated from our other pelvic floors by this tendinous arch, which is right there below it. Now, if we imagine this as being pulled right out, we can see the different muscles of the pelvic floor. Here's the coccyx. And associated with just the coccyx is the coccygeus muscle.
Is that the top one?
That's the one at the very top.
Okay.
And we can also see it right there as well. So there's the coccygeus. Now, the next one that's associated with the coccyx and the ilium, right here, is the iliococcygeus. The next muscle below is going to come from the pubic mole and go all the way back and follow the coccyx. So we call this where the green dots are, pubococcygeus. Now here we can see there's something with these blue dots on it, or purple dots, pubo, wrapping around the rectum, so we call it puborectalis. And if we turn it upside down, we can actually see it a little bit easier right through here as it's wrapping around the rectum. So puborectalis. So if we look right through here, we can see the hepatic portal vein, okay, and that's going to continue going up into the liver. So if we start here in anatomical position and we flip this upside down, this is the left side, this is the right side. Here we can see the portal vein again, and it's going to divide into the left hepatic vein and then the right hepatic vein. Now the portal vein is going to continue to run down, but it's going to start to become a little more familiar. So as it moves inferior, where we see the head of the pancreas, we have superior mesenteric vein traveling with the superior mesenteric artery. If we follow this extension, we're going to see that it goes to the spleen, and so this is the splenic vein. Right through here, this extension from the splenic vein, we're going to find our inferior mesenteric vein. And then as we kind of move into the actual abdomen itself, all the other branches, like we see the same branch here and the same branch here, they're all exactly the same named as the artery. Okay, so this outer portion right through here, all of this is the renal cortex. So if we had a pin maybe stuck right here, we would call it renal cortex. All of this stuff on the inside is our renal medulla. But if this is tagged, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for something more specific. So here we come to the renal pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. And each one of these renal pyramids are going to be separated by a renal column. So this area right through there is the renal column. This is the renal pyramid. At the apex, or the top of each renal pyramid, we come to the renal papilla. Each renal papilla is going to drain here into a minor calyx. So we see a minor calyx here, minor calyx here, minor calyx here. Whenever we have two or more of these minor calyxes coming together, like we do right here, we now have a major calyx. So when two or possibly even more of these are coming together, we're in a major calyx. As we come to here, we're at the renal pelvis. And then as we come to this portion right through here, you're at the ureter. And then that's everything for the kidney. Enteric. It's not showing, it's showing it here, coming off here. Normally they enter kind of at the same spot. This one's showing it coming from like way over here. But once it gets through here, it's still the same thing. Okay. So as it's coming down from the splenic vein, it's coming straight down as inferior mesenteric vein. You're gonna have your left colic vein right through there. We're gonna have the sigmoid, and then you're also gonna have the superior rectal, which is right there.
And that's a review from last week, essentially.
That's right.